This is part 5 of LINQ to XML tutorial. In this video, we'll discuss transforming XML to CSV using LINQ to XML. In your application, there may be a need to transform an XML document into CSV format or HTML format or to a different XML format. In this video, we'll discuss how to transform this XML on the left to CSV format on the right. And in our upcoming videos, we'll discuss how to transform this XML to HTML format or to a different XML format. So let's flip to Visual Studio. Here I have a new console application. All I have done so far is added this data.xml file to this project. I'll have this XML data available on my blog in case you need it. Now let's flip to program.cs file. We need 4 different namespaces, so let's bring them in first. We need system.link, we need system.xml.link, we need system.io, and we need system.text. So first, let's create an instance of string builder with the main method. Let's call it sb, and we want the separator to be a comma, so let's create a delimiter, and the delimiter is going to be comma. Alright, so we need to load this XML data from this XML file. So let's actually get the path of this file. So this file is actually present in this project folder. So let's open the project folder in Windows Explorer, copy the path from there, and to load the XML data from an XML file, we have load method that's available within xDocument class. So xDocument.load, and we specify the path of our XML file. So the name of the file is data.xml. So now this is going to load the XML data into memory. And if you look at this XML data, what we want to do is retrieve all the student elements. And to do that, we are going to make use of this descendants function. So we want all student descendants. And now what we want to do is actually loop through each student element and then retrieve the country, append a comma to it, and then the name, gender, and then total marks, separating each of those with comma. Okay, so in order to do that, we need to first loop through all the elements within this XML. Okay, so to loop through, we use for each method. Now we don't have for each here because this descendants return I enumerable of X element, and within I enumerable we don't have for each. So we have to convert this to a list first. So toList dot for each. And now what we want to do is for each element such that we have the string builder object. So sb.append. What we want to do, we want to first retrieve the country of the student. So we are going to use this element variable, element dot attribute of what is the name of the attribute. It is country. So let's copy that, dot value. So this should give us the country. Okay, and to that we want to append this delimiter, that is comma. So delimiter, and to that, now at the moment we are right here, so we need to get to the next element there, right? So in order to do that, let's actually copy this piece of code. So now we need to get to the name element, and to get to the name element, so element dot element, and what is the name of the element? It is name. So we get the name, and then again we append a delimiter. Similarly, we need gender and total marks. So gender, total marks. And finally, look at what we want in the output. After total marks, we don't need any comma there. But then there are 2 invisible characters between the first row and the second row. At the end of this row, we have a carriage return, and the escape sequence for that is \r, and at the beginning of the second line there is this new line character which is \n. So we need to append those two characters to every row. So here, instead of delimiter, we are going to append \r and \n. So that's going to close the append method, and we also need to close the for each. Okay, so now within the string builder object we should have a comma delimited string of every student. Now what we want to do is we want to write that data to a file, and the extension of the file should be .csv. So we are going to make use of stream writer class. Let's call it sw equals new stream writer, and here we are going to specify the name of the file including the path. So let's actually copy this, and let's change the name to result.csv, and let's use the writeLine method, and to this method let's pass the string. So we have the string within the string builder object, convert that to string, and then finally close the stream writer. Okay, so at the moment we don't have that result.csv file within this project folder, so let's go ahead and run this now. So it says build fail. Let's see what is the error. Okay, we are missing a closing bracket there, so let's run this now. So now when we view all files, notice that we got result.csv file, and notice we get the data as expected. So we have just seen how to transform XML to CSV format. In our next video we'll discuss how to transform the same XML to HTML table. That's it for today. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.